Okay.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon, broadcasting out of the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California with UBN Radio Network, Universal Broadcasting, and every Thursday at 7, Saturday at 6 on my syndicated CNBC, NBC News Radio channel KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and everywhere on iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, DAP, all that stuff. Spotify as well now, I just found out. So I am everywhere splattering you with more hope and happiness because there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K words allowed on this show. No Kardashian talk at all, because I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. And if you missed any of my interviews that highlight hope and happiness with my fabulous guests like New York Times bestselling author Neil Donald Walsh, Michael Bernard Beckwith, Marianne Williamson, to Marianne from Gilligan's Island, Don Wells, Potsy from Happy Days, Anson Williams, Corey Feldman from Stand By Me, and Muhammad Ali's daughter, Layla Ali, please go and free subscribe at my YouTube channel. And there's also a red carpet playlist there with my interviews with Halle Berry and Quincy Jones and John Travolta. And Nicholas Sparks is on there now from my trip to New York, as well as the chairman of Barnes & Noble. So just lots to watch. So just go and free subscribe. And if you feel like it, go to my Dr. Marissa page where I live stream this show and give me the finger. I mean, a thumbs up. So that way you can continue to be connected with more hope and happiness through Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. And there are Asian Oprah giveaways, so stay tuned to the end of the show with the balance bar, and you'll see what you get. And you get. All right. Today, I am delighted to have a very special guest with me. Jill Lublin is an international speaker on the topics of radical influence, publicity, networking, kindness, and referrals. She's the author of 4 best-selling books, including Get Noticed, Get Referrals, McGraw-Hill, and co-author of Guerrilla Publicity and Networking Magic. Her latest book, Profit of Kindness, went #1 in 4 categories. Jill is a master strategist on how to position your business for more profitability and more visibility in the marketplace. She is the CEO of a strategic consulting firm and has over 20 years experience working with over 100,000 people, plus national and international media. Jill teaches publicity crash courses as both live events and live webinars, and consults and speaks all over the world. Please welcome to the studio, Jill Lublin. And here's your applause. Woohoo! And Jill and I are actually colleagues. We are both on faculty at CEO Space International, the largest university for entrepreneurs. And she goes to Agape with me. And we just saw each other in New York at the Book Expo America, and before that in Culver City for Revelation, and before that in San Diego. So she's following me around. No, we're following each other around, and I'm so delighted that you could be here. I use Jill also as my sounding board as a first-time solo author, and she's been phenomenal. So thank you for coming on, Jill.
Thank you. I am so delighted to be here. And always happy to be with you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So I'm going to do my regular thing where I have a woman. She's a friend of mine, and she doesn't have an answering machine. She has a questioning machine. And when you call her, it says, "Who are you and what do you want?" So, Jill, who are you and what do you want?
Well, who I am is many things like all of us, meaning author, teacher. I teach publicity courses, creator, and all around, hopefully, wonderful human being.
Yes, you are.
I've actually, as you mentioned, authored 4 books. So I have show and tell. I got to show them.
Beautiful, of
Any
course.
good author has to show her book. So that's one, The Prophet of Kindness. So excited about that. Just came out. Been on, Fox interviews and all kinds of fabulous things
Beautiful.
have been happening. Inc. magazine and Forbes, and I, do practice what I preach.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is guerrilla publicity, actually one of my first books, and has wonderful legs, so to speak. We're going on 3rd edition, so I'm so grateful for that.
Beautiful. What do you want? What do you want? Like if you
What
could,
do I want?
Yeah, set an intention.
Thank you. I want to have a TV show. I love this, what you're doing, and help people really with kindness, particularly in corporate America, change culture, as well as on an ongoing show where I'm supporting the kindness message to keep spreading.
Wonderful. Well, I know for sure we'd love to have you at Universal Broadcasting Network, where I'm a part owner. So that's one. We could talk about that with Tony afterwards. But that's wonderful. So you are basically, I would say, the networking queen. As far as knowing, I don't even know if that's your byline, but that might not be a bad one. So,
I like it.
Yeah. So what's the one thing that people do that shoots themselves in the foot when it comes to marketing or PR or, trying to communicate their message?
Well, one thing I think that's really a tough thing for people is that they're not clear about their message. And if I had a soapbox to get on, that would be get clear about your message, how important that is, how essential it is to making your main message work, whether it be about your business. I mean, I help people in all areas, business, speakers, authors, consultants, coaches. I mean, those are my primary, but, real estate and marketing and chiropractors. Hey, guess what? It's always the same. It's always about your message first. And the thing that shoots people in the foot is they're not clear about it, so that when you meet them on those, quick, listen, we all meet people quickly, whether it's
elevator, 20 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah. Whether it's in the elevator or whether it is in a longer networking lunch where you need to still be prepared with usually under a 30-second intro. So I just watch people struggle with this a lot and not have clear answers that help them feel confident no matter what's going on in their life. So I think that's really something that if I were to wave my magic wand, I would have everybody have a powerful and clear message.
Okay, so I'm going to practice. Since you're
great.
on this is my show, right? So I get to use free consulting right here. You
Yes.
didn't know about this, right? So I have 3 main ways that I serve. So I'm going to do all 3 in 30 seconds. I mean, do one in 30 seconds and then have you critique me. I'm laying myself open. I've not done this with you, so I kind of wanted to save it for the show. All right? So we'll start with... Hi, I'm Dr. Marissa, and I have a weekly talk radio show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa. And I'm all about balancing out the bad news with good news. And so if you would like to be a sponsored guest where I get to promote you as well and or a sponsor for the show, will you let me know?
Okay, so first thing I want to say is I'd switch it to, don't you realize that everybody feels distressed and out of balance? I have a solution for that. So I'm really big about, you got to give people real solutions and then identify the problem before you say or use the I word.
Okay.
So don't you feel out of balance and stressed out, and I have a solution for you. In fact, every week I have a show called and then move into that.
Yeah.
why you're drawing people's attention to their imbalance.
Okay.
So that they can resonate quicker and go in faster with you, and then be listening for what's important to them. And that's really a key for everyone, is stop using I words and start using you words.
Okay.
Don't you feel imbalanced? Wouldn't you like an opportunity, right? And then focus it in on that.
Okay. Now that would be the tagline I would be, or the messaging I would be using for life balance coaching. Do you feel out of control?
Same.
But for that one, I'm looking for sponsors for the show. So wouldn't there be a little bit of a difference?
So you might want to say, wouldn't you like an opportunity to reach a wide audience all at once in a way that they're listening for your exact whatever they offer, right?
Right.
And so
How would you like
doing
to
is you're
reach?
making matches between your sponsor and your listeners.
Right.
And you're going to need to talk to a sponsor in that way, so
Right.
they're listening from that way.
Got it. And then the third one is your organization feeling more stress and less joy these days? Well, I have a solution. My name is Dr. Marissa. I'm a consulting psychologist, and I work in areas of power, politics, miscommunication, and conflict. I can come speak for your group or do a facilitation so that your organization has more joy and less stress.
Beautiful. That one I liked. I might put in a statistic. See, because I always think from a media perspective, and media needs statistics, but so do organizations. If you start and give something about, how much money is your organization losing, and this is normal, and then name an actual number. How much money are organizations actually losing because their employees are not joyful and fulfilled? I think would be really powerful.
That's great, and I get your approach about it's more about you than it is about me. So it's
That's
more
right.
about meeting you with your needs and where you are than talking about what I can do.
That's right. And the other key thing I want to mention, because it's not just you, this is everyone, is speak in, besides you language, speak slowly, so that when you're going over the names of your companies, the names of, in your case, your show, your phone numbers, when you're leaving messages, this is a key for everyone, is slow it down. Slow it down.
Yeah.
And I think people tend to talk too fast, too
Right.
quick, and
Right.
boom, boom, boom. And, we can't quite hear it.
Yeah,
So
it's a
that's
good
just an
point.
important piece.
Nerves between nerves, or you have that BS, the belief system that you don't want to waste anybody's time, or that they're
Exactly.
going to say no. And I think one of the most fundamental switches for me around value and marketing. I used to say, I hate selling, I hate marketing, I hate PR. I can't wait for the day that people know what I do and just want it and not have to open my mouth, because I feel like, especially as an Asian woman, that I'm like blowing my own horn, and there's shame in that, and I don't want to have to talk about myself, and I'm like cringing, waiting for somebody to say, who do you think you are? And all of that obviously hasn't stopped me yet, but what I realized, I think a couple of years ago, someone said to me, everybody has a unique, I think it was Michael Bernard Beckwith, who of course is brilliant, and says, everybody has a unique talent, gift, and ability to offer life and to be and to serve in life. And if you don't talk about it, if you don't share it, if you don't communicate it, people will not know. And there's a buyer for every offering out there, just like there's a partner for every person, or multiple partners, not poly, but if one doesn't work, there's always room for another one. So that really helped me say, you know what, I do need to, it's one thing to have the gift or whatever unique gift that everybody has, and it's another thing to have the ability to communicate that gift so that it's received in the best possible way.
That's right. And Marissa, I think you brought up something really important that everybody needs to hear. And, here you are beautifully doing your TV, coming out with a wonderful new book. And so people think you don't have that stuff going on behind. And I'll just say for me too, I was incredibly shy. It's not always easy, even though I'm a master at promotion, to promote myself. I'm really gifted at helping others, but then sometimes I have to remember certain things for me. So I'm going to tell you, all of you, that this is a continuous practice and that we keep evolving in our confidence levels. I remember the first time when my book came out, my first one, Guerrilla Publicity, and I went to a Barnes & Noble to do a signing, and there was my poster in the window. And big, it was big. And I'm like, oh my God, I see my face and it's big. And I was scared and it freaked me out. And I remember thinking this, that for all of us, and I think this is a really good comparison because it's the way I felt like a little chicken, when they're just born and they beep, 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 beep. They peek at their eggshells and they keep doing that until they're out of the eggshell and they burst forth in that tiny little head, and then they usually fall over, right?
Right.
And,
Right.
life is kind of like that. And I
Right.
think for all of us that you have to keep picking at that eggshell so that you come forth and be powerful, and that, you understand that's still a process, right?
Yes, yes.
And that even that little chickie has to kind of grow and gain its little fur and, wipe itself off and pick itself back up. And guess what? That's who we are. And for me, I remember just once I picked through that shell, so to speak, and birthed my first book and saw my face at Barnes and Noble, and then, had to go in and do book signings and be seen that way. That just to share with all of you that this is a process, and you do each step as you do it, and know that each step is important. But most important, it is so key to get your message out, because otherwise, to me, it's like your gift dying inside of you. And that what you just said, we have gifts, each one of us. And so it's key and important to have that message be aligned and balanced with who you are, that you can be authentic with it, that you speak it appropriately. Importantly, you know what the heck it is.
Yep.
So that you can go out. Yeah. And shine. And that's really what I want to say about that. And to know that it's a process, and you start where you start, and it's all good.
Yeah. And for the perfectionists in the audience, that means you do step in it every once in a while, and it's okay. It's nothing, it's nothing to die of shame of. It is just part of the process. And if you're wondering who I'm talking to today with all of this great nugget advice for how to communicate better your product, service, or who you are with the world at large, it is Jill Lublin, and she is a master strategist and networking queen, and she's come out with 4 best-selling books. I think there's actually more than 4 books, but at least 4 that are best-selling, right? So
4 that are on major houses.
Yeah, 4 major houses, and she's a wonderful human being as well. And she is sharing with us today because it is the birthday of our country, and I thought she would be a great guest to celebrate. So we can, happy birthday, dear America. For a second there, I forgot where I was. Happy birthday to you. I was supposed to do that at the beginning, and I just remembered that I forgot.
Do you remember she also, here's another thing about Dr. Marissa. She's a beautiful singer, too. She forgot to tell you that in her bio.
Thank you. Okay, so actually that's a great segue to another question, which is, where is the line between selling and overselling? Because I took
it's a fine line.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Because I took that aspect, because I also have a fashion hobby and a fashion line, and I have a amateur photography hobby / a little bit side business and singer-songwriter, and I had all of that on my website, and then someone said it's way too much, and so I took it all off. And the part of me that's, but it's part of me, has every once in a while gets a little not happy, but I recognize that. So I'm giving you that as an example.
Absolutely. Thank you. So, a couple things. One is I believe that it's wonderful to offer your product and service, whatever you're promoting. And I think that that needs to be your bottom line so that your bottom line stays healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say that, listen, I've spoken in Australia where they have the tall poppy syndrome. And if you overpromote, oh my gosh, your head gets chopped off. And we dealt with this. And how do you speak yourself and promote yourself? In many cultures, it's actually not
Taboo.
so, yeah, it's a little
Mm-hmm.
taboo. I mean, you
Yeah,
understand that. You're Asian,
Chinese. Yeah,
right?
Chinese and Japanese have a saying: "The nail that stands up is hammered down."
Yeah, there you go. And so that's a bit of an issue. And I think
Yeah.
even, Americans, which is probably the most comfortable with promotion, don't really know how. So with all that in mind, what I'd say is the fine line is number one, you being comfortable with what you're offering. And I think that's really important because that translates. In other words, have a great message, give value and benefit. And I think that's really a key in guerrilla publicity. We talk a lot about that is you have to give real value, real benefit in your message and solve people's problems, as much as possible. It's an and know what your offer is. Offer it to people, tell them that tell them what you need to tell them and be clear about it. And then ask for the sale. One of my people in my publicity course recently, it was so cute. She's an author and she was mentioning her book and somebody in front of her said, I would love to buy your book. How much is it? She didn't answer the question. I don't even know that she heard it. And then the woman repeated it. And I actually had to stop her and said, so you just had an offer for somebody to buy your book. Would you like to tell them how much it is? And just make it easy for people. And I think that's really an important piece too, is are you making it easy for people to accept your offer, to buy whatever you're offering, and to know that what you're offering is your gift. And you are entitled to offer it, to sell it, and to have other people listen to it.
That's like a core BS belief system that let's spend a minute on that, because asking someone for money, asking someone to pay you for your worth is not something that I would say the majority of people are really comfortable with. The stereotype of, the used car salesman or door to door, it's like they've got, big cojones because they can ask and they're like, they have no problem with it. The average, I know myself, I'm, when it comes to how much are you, I almost like preface it with an apology, like I'm a little more expensive because I've had this, or I've done this, or, I have this, or I have to give the Asian, discount. It's normally this price, but for you, it'll be 50% off, or I think that's in my blood. But it is truly because, and I'll tell you this, when I say, okay, my Balanced Tai Chi Qigong DVD is $20 and my motivational cards are $10, and this new book coming out, 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are, is $16.95. You can pre-order it now in Barnes & Noble bookshelves on August 7th. So like I've got that down, but I'm already waiting for people to go, okay, thank you, and then walk away, or oh, someone's trying to sell me again. Someone's trying to, it's like, oh, here we go again, or can't she just, give it to me for free, and so then I say, which is true, that all the proceeds from my balanced products go towards my peace work across the planet, which is true, or go to a nonprofit that I'm highlighting. So why is it not okay to just say, this is how much it is? It cost me this much to produce it, or how does someone get over that?
So a couple things, and even when you were telling me the 3 things, first of all, I think that might be too many.
Okay.
So it's just to pay attention to people are really full these days. And one thing I notice is to speak about one thing is helpful.
Okay.
So I will, as an example, offer a publicity course. If it's not the right match, I will say, okay, let's look at what might be the right match. Or I might start with consulting services, which are probably my highest offer, right? And then from there, go to the publicity course, or from there, go to the book, right? And I think that's a piece of it, is offer one thing, and then work with the person for what else they might need. And here's my other truth. If they don't want to pay, or thinking whatever they're thinking, let's call it negative thoughts about selling, they're probably, for me, not my client, because they're not interested in promoting themselves. And promotion does require that, yes, you ask for the sale. It's, it's a piece of promotion, and you need to get more comfortable with it. And the only thing that sometimes makes you comfortable with it, and I'm including introverts too, is having a right script and knowing what to say. And I think the comfort level goes way up, and the asking for the sale goes way up. And then it's practice, practice, practice. And making that offer to some friends, asking them how does that feel? Knowing that you have the right to say, here are my cards, Marissa, in your case, and it's $10. And in August, you can pre-order my book. And I love the fact that you restate the title, right? I've taught a number of my clients who are authors to keep restating the title of their book, not in my book. So, just buy my book and it's $17, whatever it is, right?
Right.
So I think that's really important.
Well, it was you.
Keep people focused.
Yeah, and it was you that told me when I first got the publishing contract, you should be saying the name of your book in every single sentence that you speak. And I'm like, really? And so I've been trying to do that. But it really is, there's a psychological tripping point, I think, for a lot of people, especially, the shift now, more entrepreneurs, they don't want to work for somebody else's dream. They want to work, for something that they're passionate about, and in translating that passion or feeling worthy that, yes, this is my unique gift, talent, and ability. And money is just money. It's just an energy that we all, transfer back and forth. And I'm hoping that our society, doesn't take like the very low percentage of people who actually con you, right? But the media does a great job of highlighting all the, the conners. Yeah, but the majority of people are trading value for their product, service, and gift, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And what I'm saying is, let's be comfortable with it.
I'm right.
And know that everybody is selling something. You're selling a product, you're selling a service, you're selling a book, you're selling a course, you're selling
your body.
Widgets in the store, whatever, when you walk into a retail store. And it's all selling something. And here's the deal. People want to buy.
Yeah.
So it's finding the right match of your buyers, that people want to buy from you. Right. And if they don't know what you have to offer, how will they buy from you?
Right.
And to me, it's about offering your gift, and it's an exchange, right?
Right.
Money is an exchange when people buy from you, and they're exchanging your knowledge and services and whatever else for them, for themselves. So I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And I think the number one thing is not how to say it or what to say. The number one thing is to truly embrace and know the worthiness of your gift. I really think that if everybody knew what that was, or knew that life was about exploring and finding what that is, all 7.3 billion of us, then the whole reticence or fear or nervousness or, suspiciousness would go away. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes, and I think that's really the key. And, here's the other truth. Like, be like a da-da-da-da-da-da with people or their beliefs about selling. That was just like blocking everyone out. For those who didn't quite get that, just block it out. Because this is about you and your offer. And if you start thinking about what other people think, or what they're thinking about me, or, oh my gosh, I'm selling too much, then that's all getting in the way.
Right.
And, if someone thinks you're selling too much, their problem, their issue, probably not a right match anyhow.
Right.
So that's okay. We keep moving.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm getting the signal. It is that time of the show where I stop to thank the people who make this show possible, my beloved show sponsors. So we'll be back in 2 and 2 with more how to promote without embarrassment and market yourself with Jill Lublin. We'll be back in 2 and 2. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out. Are you tired of being tired? Are you ready for more balance in your life? Then come to the beach and work with Dr. Marissa, motivational speaker, author, organizational psychologist, and host of the 2016 Podcast of the Year Top 10 in Health award-winning show, Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa. If you are ready to choose more hope and happiness no matter what's happening around you, then go to www.drmarissa.tv today. 4, 3, 2, 1, and another child dies. Yes, every 4 seconds, someone dies from drinking contaminated water, and that's the bad news. The good news is that the Purity filtration system provides clean, fresh, and safe drinking water, and for every 2 water bottles sold, 1 is shipped to a child in need. Contact Heshy Siegel at kidsbetterworld.com for this win-win-win, life-giving answer to contaminated water today. And we're back. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio show called Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Not all the time, sometimes. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon, broadcasting live out of the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California, where Newsroom and Murder, She Wrote and Scandal is also filmed. But there's no scandal on this show because it's no gossip, no scandal, no K-words, no Kardashian talk at all. In fact, I want you to be happy 88% of the time. So I have guests that will help with that. And today's no exception. It is Jill Lublin, best-selling author of not 1, but 4 great books. And she's here with great advice. We've gotten some practical application for myself. And I wanted to just also highlight, Jill, you have Networking Magic. Find the best from doctors, lawyers, and accountants to homeschools and jobs. So I know that, and there's another book here, Networking Magic, How to Find Connections That Transform Your Life. So can you give my listeners kind of like a Reader's Digest version, maybe the top 8 ways to network or make connections that maybe they're not thinking about?
So thank you for that. For networking in particular, a couple things. One is I'd like you to think about what are organizations that are not exactly like, oh, that sounds fun to go to, but actually collaborative. So for instance, my CPAs I work with would go to attorneys organizations and vice versa. Attorneys go to CPAs organizations. So think, where can I fit in that are wonderful connections in maybe a different industry so that you stand out more.
Right.
Yeah, that's really good. 2, go to the food line. Great place to talk to people. Everybody talks more over food. So if you're shy or a little afraid, go to the food line. Always a good bet. But don't go there just for the food because it's not usually that good.
You mean the food line, not at a food bank? A food line at a networking.
Thank you. At a networking event. Yes. Yes. So wherever they're serving the food, go there because that's where conversations often happen.
Yep.
The other thing I encourage you to do, there's usually like an ambassador or somebody assigned at the front to help meet and greet. Ask that person, oh, who should I meet? If you're really, more introverted, they often have these ambassadors and say, would somebody come around and introduce me to people? That's a great thing to ask for and let somebody else do the introducing for you. I think that's a beautiful thing. People often feel like when somebody's in a conversation, oh gosh, I shouldn't interrupt. Here's a nice way to do it that's not quite, too aggressive, but lets people know you'd like to be included. And that is, as you see, let's say a group of 3 or 4, put yourself into the circle and just say, hey, I'd love to be included, or just stand there for a moment while that other person is finished, but go into the circle so that you're actually in it. I think this has worked for me pretty much every time, except for one time when someone said, we're having a meeting, in which case I said, great. I'll come later when it's better for you. Right. And so that's fine. But often people think, oh, they're talking to someone.
Yeah.
Let me just say yes. And they'd like to be talking to you too, I'm sure. And so if you make yourself a little known in that circle, just kind of stepping into it, that usually works really well.
Now, my BS would say that is rude and I shouldn't be interrupting. And I've actually had people go, excuse me, like I'm having a conversation. And so I'm like, I just don't do that. So
Yes.
I guess I need to reevaluate and sort of like inch in there or hi.
Inch in there and just say, hey, I'd love to be part of this. If there's a possibility, you can do it like that.
Okay.
In other words, make the request and yes, honor, of course, if they're having a meeting or if they seem really engaged. I just noticed that people stay out of. I tend to look for like 3 and 4 in a group, just because, the one-on-one is a little harder to break into.
Right.
But when it's 3 and 4, feel free to break in.
Right.
And know that, they often want to have you included.
Okay.
So I think that's really important.
Great.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The other piece is, and Marissa, you've seen me do this. I love to gather a great group of people who I love, who maybe don't know each other. And at those meals, when people just break up into conversations, what I do is actually facilitate a process and ask people some great questions. One of them might be, tell me something no one knows about you. I love asking that one because that opens people up to more fun conversation. I love having people, say who they are, what their business is, and then ask one thing that they need help with. And, there's usually people around a table that are really smart and would love to help. So I just really want to encourage all of you to, at lunches and dinners you go to, start facilitating actual networking. And as much as some people, I've noticed, like, I'll just sit down with groups of strangers and do this, particularly at
nobody
events
tells
I'm
you. Nobody says, "Are you like how much of a control freak are you?"
They don't say that. I've had occasional people roll their eyes, like, "Oh, do we really have to do this?" Or work again. And they're the same people who end up thanking me afterwards. Thank you so much for having it so that we all got to talk to each other, for creating great connection. And, sometimes I just go, I'm going to apologize up front for anyone this offends, or if you don't want to do it, please feel free to move, but I've seen that this works really, really great. Everybody pretty much loves it.
Right.
And then everybody gets to talk, which what I really noticed, and I just feel a little frustrated with myself, is that people go into these one-on-one conversations at a table and there's some incredible people sitting around a table as a great example. I just want to bring them together.
Yeah, that sounds good. I also do something like along that same line. I'll say it's no accident. I don't believe in accidents. So we're all here together at this table for a reason. So let's spend a little time trying to figure out why. So, and then we go around and do that. And it's like, oh, it must be this, or you manifest me for that. So just sort of piggyback on yours. But that's great. So your newest book, we only have a couple minutes left, but I did want to focus because I love the title, The Profit of Kindness, not profit from the Ali profit, but the PRO money, show me the money profit of kindness, how to influence others, establish trust, and build lasting business relationships. Tell me again, in an abridged version, who this is for. Yeah, there you go. Who it's for, who should read it. I love Kindness is My Religion is one of my favorite, His Holiness the Dalai Lama saying, you went from networking magic to the profit of kindness. Tell me why.
Well, here's what's interesting. And, when I looked at all my books, I realized that companies who are kind get more publicity. And interestingly enough, in The Profit of Kindness, we interviewed, a little hiccup there, amazing companies. And those who were kind and had kind cultures made more revenues, had happier employees, had better working conditions usually. And just all in all, their customers were happier. It just kept going along the line, right? And this got underlined with every company I interviewed. So that was awesome. Also, it really came out of the fact of helping one of my friends who is aging. She's 84. And I take her to appointments and take her out to lunch and have her life be a little happier. And one day she looked at me and she said, "Oh, you're so kind. You know, I wish that more people were like this. In fact, wouldn't it be great," she said, "if we had a new currency, the currency of kindness?" And I went, "Oh, you know, when you just hear something." And that was my something. And next thing I know, my book was on such a fast track timetable that it actually got accepted by a major publisher and came out within 9 months.
Wow.
Which, listen, I've been helping people get book deals. That's what you and I were doing at Book Expo, helping people get book deals for years. And I've never seen a book come out that fast. So I know that it, you know, it's in the marketplace now. It's much needed in our culture.
Society.
To be kind.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I've been in a lot of media talking about it, which is why I know how important it is.
Yeah, that's very comforting. That's heartening, I would say, in this, especially in this time.
Yes, thank
time
you.
and place.
Yes,
absolutely.
More kindness is needed.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you wanted? Where can we find you if someone wants to work with you, hire you, go to places? How do we do that?
Thank you. Well, you'll see on the way they're spelling my name there on the screen, Jill Lublin. Go to jilllublin.com and you can see all the kinds of fabulous services I can support you with. And I also do a publicity course online on Zoom. You can take from anywhere around the world. For that, you can go to publicitycrashcourse.com. And when you register, enter the code publicity, and that will let me know you've been looking and watching Dr. Marissa's show and give you pretty much half off to take a live Zoom with me anywhere around the world. Plus, I do them in certain cities, so you're welcome to join me there live also at no extra charge.
Beautiful. Repeat
so
that link
to help
again.
You with that.
Great.
Sure.
Repeat
Thank
that link
you.
again.
Sure. Publicitycrashcourse.com.
Okay.
And then when you register, put in the code publicity, and that'll be Dr. Marissa's code, publicity.
All right. Perfect. And the last question that I ask all of my guests is, what or who are you most grateful for? I actually asked that in New York to Dr. Ruth. She's 90 now, and she goes, "That's a good question." So that was really nice.
I thought I saw her walking around on the floor. I
she
saw
has
her
a
pass
new...
by me. I'm so glad you got her.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I am grateful for the joy that I have learned to cultivate. I'm not saying I'm always joyful, but learning to cultivate joy and gratitude daily. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that.
Beautiful.
And my 4 cats too, I must admit. I'm grateful for my 4 cats.
You have 4 cats?
I do.
Oh,
Magic and Miracle, is that Precious? That's 2 of them. And Soul and Starlight are my other 2.
Oh, well, that's beautiful. Then it's funny that I sent you the text with the little kitten. I didn't know that.
That's why I thought that's
no,
so great.
No. I didn't know that. So anyways, thank you so much, Jill Lublin. I've been pronouncing it incorrectly. I apologize for that. For coming on the air with Dr. Marissa on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. I hope you have learned half as much as I have from Jill today about communicating how unique and wonderful you all are, that every one of us has unique gifts, talents, and abilities. All 7.3 billion of us, there's no throwbacks in the bunch, and we all want to be able to share and communicate that gift so we leave this world a little bit better than we found it. Thanks again, Jill. Best of luck in everything that you do. And there you go. All right.
Woo!
And it
Good
is.
Good job, honey.
Thank you. It's the end of the show now. Welcome to my balance bar where you step up and find out how to have a little more balance. And because of Jill's influence of telling me I had to talk about the book Every Breath, I started talking about the book every single show since the pre-order links came up, and I'm continuing by giving you a gift from the book, a balance tool every single week until August the 7th. Morgan James, publisher from New York, and this week's tool is from Chapter 7, and I'm going to show I finally got my author's copy, and it was amazing because it came literally 3 days before I went to New York for the Book Expo America, and I was cojones enough to actually, in my interview with the chairman, Len Riggio of Barnes & Noble, I finished interviewing him and then had this inspired thought to pick up my book and ask for, shamelessly, an endorsement. And I'm so grateful. He actually gave it to me. He did provisionally. He flipped through the book. And if you haven't seen it, it's on my YouTube. I think I put it on my Red Carpet playlist, but it's really funny. So you have to see it. But this is the book. I'm so grateful to have my heart, my soul, and my mind in it. It's my newest baby. It took me 9 months to write. It is about you and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So 8 ways to happiness from wherever you are. So today's tool comes from Chapter 7, Out of Perfectionism into Joy. So if you are a recovering perfectionist like I am, and also known as a little bit of a control freak, we all know that we want things to be just so. We want people to be just so. We want situations to be just so. And if it's not, we're not happy. And perfectionists have the habit of robbing ourselves from joy by where we look. So if it's a scale of 0 to 100, and we're almost always at 88%, and that's, pretty good. But we have a habit of looking at what's not done, that 12% that's wrong, and we pick at it, and we're not happy with it, and we don't look at what's already been done, and we treat people the same way. So I want you to stand on that 88 line and look the other way and appreciate what you have accomplished so far and what is good about the people that you're around, because that will make you feel better than staring at that 12%. So that's the tool for today. It also goes with today's balance tip, day 3 on the 21-day fast from complaining with Dr. Marissa, which is never miss an opportunity to keep your mouth shut. So sometimes you don't have to say what's on your mind, especially if it's critical. Nobody asked you for your advice. Nobody asked you what you thought. But sometimes we have this compulsion that we think that everybody needs to have what's on our mind, and they don't. So hopefully that will help you. I promise the people around you will probably be happier with you, and then you'll be happier with yourself. All right. And it's never too late to join the fast. If you haven't already gotten the app on both platforms, 21-day fast from Complaining with Dr. Marissa, do get that. Also coming up fast is July 14th, my half-day balance with Dr. Marissa, more happiness with Dr. Marissa workshop. It's from 9 to 1 in Irvine, California. So it's an excuse to come to California for the weekend. That's Saturday at the Heart Space Center at the School for Multidimensional Healing Arts and Sciences. So sign up at my website, the number 4, balance.org, and save your spot on your virtual healing mat. If you don't want to come to the class, you would rather work with me individually, slowing it down, as Jill said, then please do contact me, and you can book a free discovery call. Just go use my calendar on my website, drmarissa.tv. And I think that is it. We're almost out of time. Did I miss anything? When you go to YouTube and watch the past shows and go to the red carpet, please do free subscribe there, as well as give me the finger or a thumbs up at Dr. Marissa on Facebook, and then I'm on Doc Balance on Instagram. So if you want to connect with me there, that would be awesome. And that is it for today's fabulous episode of Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at noon at UBN Radio TV, Thursday on my syndicated CNBC channel, so you know where to get it if you missed it and you're just tuning in now. And I will be back from Europe next week, so got to take my daughter on a high school graduation gift and look forward to coming back and jumping into your arms for more hope and happiness on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa Pay. That's P for positive, EI. And remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace.
Before the dawn, for I am weak and he is strong. He lifts me up so I can see how dark